You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Cougar Town After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Cougar Town After Show.
Hey there, Cougar Townians, Cougar Townspeople, Cougar Town fans from all over the world. How are you? You know where you are. It's the AFTERBUZZ TV Cougar Town After Show. You just downloaded it, you clicked on it, you streamed it, whatever you're doing.
You found us.
You found us.
That's what matters.
And we found you.
Yes, so go you and go us. We're talking about Season 5, Episode 11, Refugee. I am Matt Lieberman. Joining me on the panel is always fantastic and talented Miss Jenna Couture.
Hello.
And Miss Chelsea Earlewine.
Hello.
Yes, Stephen Lemieux in the booth on the ones and twos.
Hello. Oh.
That was actually a man's voice.
I feel like Steven's making fun of us, Jenna.
No, I don't think so.
I would not think he would ever try to do
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
that. Okay.
It's true. And as always on the Cougar Town After Show, we are drinking a fine wine this evening. We are drinking the Laughing Raven Reserva 2003. It is a red blend. Which opened up nicely. It was a little rough when we started.
The first
Like
sip
a
was
tiny
bad.
punch in the face instead of a large punch in the face.
Well, I mean, on the back it says, it's a perfect complement for a fine meal. Laughing Raven Barbera Reserva showcases the flavor created by Alexander Valley's environment, our meticulous cultivation, the gravelly soils of our 1.5-acre vineyard, and the wisdom of a 36-month barrel aging. And I could definitely taste the gravelly soil.
I feel like what gravelly soil, is that a good thing
It
for
didn't
a vineyard?
feel like a good thing at the top, but now I'm enjoying it because it gives some nice hearty base notes that allow the fruit flavors to then come in and just add like a nice touch of like tart sweetness on the end of the palate.
True.
So
this wine needs air for sure.
Absolutely.
You could put it into a decanter and it would be really good.
Absolutely. I think a decanter is a solid solution. Half hour to an hour would make it just perfectly sweet.
True.
All right. So we had a really interesting episode this week. A lot of fun, but also a very tender, sad ending, which honestly, to me, made the entire episode sing that much louder. How do you guys feel?
I feel the same way. I like a tender touch.
Yeah, I agree. It brought it full circle. At first I was like, where is this going? And then when I found out, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I know, I honestly thought he was just pranking him, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's just it. He's just pranking. And everyone's like, why were you going through such big, strengths to prank? And I was like, I thought it was a good prank.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. So, Jules and Bobby investigate. Bobby comes home one day and his boat is just gone. Gone, I say.
I can't believe that. I totally thought someone like random stole it.
Right?
And I loved their names. Their cop names, Blacktop and Gumshoe.
Blacktop and Gumshoe.
Yeah. Who named those?
Well, originally, before they said who was which, I assumed that, Bobby was going to be Blacktop because he lives on a blacktop on his boat.
Oh, I see.
And that Jules was going to be Gumshoe because she was smart enough to know that Gumshoe means detective. But instead, she
has black hair.
Again, showing, so oftentimes I feel like on this show we wonder, why were Bobby and Jules even together? Because the more we get to know the both of them and the more we get into their kookiness and the more they grow, we see that, they need very different things.
Yeah.
And that Bobby isn't necessarily the greatest, husband. He's a great person, but he's not necessarily a great romantic partner. He's not very smart.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, Matt, because I was thinking that Jules and Bobby are more alike and are better fit together than Jules and Grayson.
You do?
I kind of do, because he's so goofy, and I feel like Jules is so naive that it's just like
it makes sense why they were
two peas in a pod.
Yeah, why they were together as long as they were.
Simpatico.
And I feel like this episode goes a long way to show that in how gleefully Jules jumps back into this
I know, it was-
blacktop and gumshoe dynamic.
And it was almost like a couples thing. And it was like Grayson again for like the 5th time this season, just taking the back seat and saying, all right, okay, like I'm going to go along. Like he gives her so much rope.
I think that would be too hard in a relationship to have your ex that closely involved in your
would
life all the
hate
time.
that.
Especially when Travis is grown. You know, it's not like they're sharing custody of a young child. I feel like it would be too hard to have him
And
around.
he could stay with them. I just feel like it was
You're
stretching.
begging for trouble. And
Stretching, Cougar Town is stretching.
yeah, and I mean, Grayson noticed that too when Jules is like, "Oh, you can stay with us." He's not crazy about the idea. It's not
course
just
not.
right, and it's not just because he's sloppy or because he has all these dogs or because he likes to do weird stuff. The fact is, he is her ex-husband.
Yeah.
That's just it's too close to home. Even though we're all
At some point, there
friends.
was a sexual attraction. Even though I don't see it, I can't see how they would ever be romantically involved. Personally,
Really? I feel like
can't
he's
see it.
so playful. She's so naive. Like
He's
she
just-
buys into
he's
a lot of his.
dumb.
But they met when they were both really young.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was a golf pro. He was a minor celebrity. There's some magnetism to that. And then once you have a kid together, you're trying to make it work as long as possible.
That's true.
But, the more that we know about Jules, the more that we realize that she should never have been the person in charge of this marriage, which she must have been. She was a parent to Bobby as much as she was to Travis.
Yeah.
And that to me is why their relationship ultimately didn't work out and why she and Grayson, while it's still not perfect, works better because she needs someone to ground her. Someone who is more down to earth, who isn't as naive, and of course we're talking about the same guy who just did karate moves and talked to himself in this episode. But she can't be the
There's more
adult.
substance to Grayson, though.
Yeah, there's more stability.
Yeah, and just more intelligence. We'll
Yeah.
say
He's
that.
so. I mean, he really pulls off funny. Like he has delivery.
Yes.
And
So
he's hot.
He's hot.
yes,
he's hot.
but he does have tiny eyes.
Oh my gosh, they
Oh,
were mentioned, but they were not mentioned as dime-sized eyes.
You have said dime eyes. I think
They've said dime
I
eyes
don't-
on the show
I need
before.
proof. I need solid proof.
We will give you proof.
Oh my gosh. And Matt, can I just say that Matt was right about the burrito last week?
And-
that a traditional burrito does not come with cheese.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Someone on Twitter.
We got called out so
we
many
got called out,
times.
Jenna.
You got
That
called
was
out
like-
so hard that you guys
It
must
was
have
on
shattered when you
YouTube.
hit the
We
ground.
got called out on Twitter and on YouTube.
Yeah.
Twice
So-
on Twitter, I think. It
I'm
was
sorry, gals.
intense. It was not the best feeling
Yeah.
to be on our end.
I still
but
think though
I
a
am-
cheese and bean and cheese burrito is way
I
better
just
than whatever
feel
that
like
traditional
that
crap
so,
is.
Like, how is that not?
You just
a
insulted an entire nationality, an entire culture of people who are very proud and have been building that culture for generations and generations.
I am-
Chelsea,
Maybe,
Wow.
maybe I did.
Maybe she did, but in my head, bean and cheese burrito is not just an American thing. It is a worldwide, nationally
way of life.
accepted.
Yes.
Like how is it not? I just don't understand.
Well, hopefully we can get some more insight from our loyal listeners and
Yeah,
watchers
I guess.
about that. But we do have these two teaming up to investigate, and I also loved seeing the pups back. We haven't seen the
Oh,
pups.
those puppies are so cute.
those pups, I didn't see all the three. Three of them should have been the same age, and I didn't see the same three.
I don't know.
But I did see a ton of dogs.
I don't know if
Yeah.
they were the same. If they were the same pups that he got at the end of that episode, or
No,
maybe
I think they were. They're
Okay.
the same pups, right?
Well, they're supposed to
didn't
be.
see
I don't know if
them.
they were
The
the
same.
exact same dogs. Is what I'm
Right.
saying.
I was probably like, bring your dog to work day at Cougar Town, and everyone's dog got to
yeah.
Got to just be a
Where
part of
did they
it.
them
get all
on
those
set.
dogs?
Yeah.
Where did-
But no, it's cool to see them, especially because we took a whole episode to make a whole point about how Bobby now has to have these dogs that he fought for them for Dog Travis's
Right.
puppies, and it was good to see them. Good to see the flip phone that he lost under the boat. I think I remember that from the first season. I might be imagining
Yeah.
things. There were lots of nice moments for longtime fans, but I think the real joy comes from this pairing of Blacktop and Gumshoe and this skewering of like the CSI style cop drama or like the TNT style cop drama down to like the way the shots were framed.
Yeah. I
loved
and
it.
their dialogue. It was
Him
great.
getting down on the ground, finding the little piece of shrimp.
Exactly.
And this episode really made me feel like they were better as a couple. And I said, like 2 episodes, I think, that there was like a flirtation with like Jules and Bobby, where it's kind of like they kind of always, you know, when they did the roller coaster with Trav. Now I know she didn't know he was going to be there, but I just feel like they have like this, you know, I know they have a kid together, but it seems like they have.
There is some chemistry, and I think we
still
did
like
see that
lingering
today.
chemistry. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some chemistry and obviously a lot of heart there.
Yeah.
And they notice one of our married friends, Jerry. He and Bonnie got married a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
He was out by the boatyard, so they chase him down, knocking over our burrito costume man.
Burrito Casa Man and our Guzzle buddies.
Yeah, there were a bunch of boxes, and we heard glass breaking, so I just assumed that they were
Yeah,
Guzzle
they've got to
buddies.
be the Guzzle Buddies.
There's a
Yeah.
few callbacks. I liked it.
A lot of great callbacks. And they basically kidnap Jerry and feed him crab cakes with a wonderful remoulade sauce, trying to get some information about this boat. And they're just going nowhere, but they're having a great time.
I thought it might have been him for a second. For a second, did you think it was him?
Yeah, I did. When
What?
he was lingering
For a
around
second,
the
I
boatyard.
totally. He looks like he would steal a boat. I
No,
am sorry. That
Jerry
guy looked
is
like,
harmless.
But he turned and was jetting it out of there. As soon as they looked at him, he started running.
Suspicious.
Well, no, they said, get him. And anytime someone says, get him in my vicinity, I run or I hide. I do not stay put when 2 people are galloping at me full tilt. Okay, I don't want that. I don't want any part of that. Yeah.
Okay, Matt, you
Fair
made a
enough.
good
Fair
point.
enough.
Fine.
Thank you.
Matt, we're gonna let you win some things before we get called out again on Twitter.
No, we're not. We're not fighting, and it doesn't feel great to win. It does.
Yes,
it does. It
does.
feels great. It feels wonderful.
Nice try.
But I'm trying not to revel in it for your sake.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You know, so they spend all this time, tracking down the boat, and they get a mysterious phone call, and it's someone, asking for the boat. They don't have any money to give. There's no ransom.
Yeah.
So they just start stuffing things in a book bag, in a backpack. They got wine, half a bottle of soy sauce, some peanut butter, 3, I'm trying to remember everything that was in it. 3 yogurt cups.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes your recap of the story, Matt, makes me laugh harder.
What?
Yeah.
You're just really good at paying attention to the tiny little details.
Thank you. I try my
You're
best.
so great at your job.
Thank you. But
You're
you know,
amazing.
I'm just proud of any 2 exes that are able to have this much fun together.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's an achievement in itself.
It is.
It's very hard to maintain a friendship with an ex, especially an ex-husband or wife. But not just a friendship, but like one where you can spend time alone together, and it's not only not weird, it's a blast. And they're
Yeah.
having a blast doing this
That's
together.
true. It was fun to see that.
Yeah. So they get to the boatyard, and lo and behold, the boat has returned. And isn't this a wonderful thing? Chick, Jules' father, who we saw at the top of the episode, he's on there. He's just like, oh, I love pulling pranks, and you 2 have been having some troubles, so I wanted to make sure you had fun together. And
And the
they're-
3 of us we all went, what?
What?
Because we know there hasn't been them having
Right.
troubles.
And then he was like, I don't want to see, you and Bobby get divorced. And we realize in that moment, his Alzheimer's
Yeah.
is really starting to kick in.
Just so sad.
And they have to break it to him that,
I thought they were going to go with it because Jules is like, fake it extra,
he maybe, with her father.
I think Bobby didn't get it at first. He
Yeah.
was like, what are you talking about, chick? We've been divorced for years. I don't think he connected what
Yeah.
was happening
Those
and that it
dots,
was one of
yeah.
those Alzheimer moments.
Yeah, but poor Chick, he was just crushed realizing what had happened. And it was a really somber moment, but it's one of those things that Cougar Town does very well. And they pick their spots when they do it. Is when you bring it back to the human element, because our characters can be a little wacky, they can be a little out there. We have a lot of fun watching them do a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of lying and faking and stuff like that.
faking, stretching, a lot
Yeah,
of things.
running around. But remembering that these are real people and you deal with real things, and the fact is, as your parents get older, they depend on you more, and having Jules have to deal with this kind of serious issue, I think grounds her as a character and makes us care about her that much more.
True.
Yeah.
It's
So true.
hardcore. I have my grandma who recently passed who had Alzheimer's, and my other grandmother who has Alzheimer's, and it's sad. I had to tell my grandma over and over that her husband was dead because she kept going, my husband hasn't come back yet today.
Now they're losing
It's
their
just hardcore.
and they're losing their memory. But is it making them die faster, or do you think that has something to do with it, or is it just?
It's a brain deterioration.
Okay.
And that can lead to other physical ailments as different parts of the brain start to have issues. You know, the parts that control different muscle groups. You know, you aren't as great at taking care of yourself, and because of that, it can lead to more potential accidents and incidents.
Yeah, falling over,
Right.
breaking your hip, things
You know,
like
my
that.
grandmother, she has dementia, and you know, she's left the stove on when she's gone out of the house. You know, it can be really problematic, and they need some serious care.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see what we do with the rest of the season, since we're bringing it back so close to the season finale. How is Jules coping with this? Will Chick be moving in with her and Grayson? Is that in the cards? What are they going to do to make sure that Chick is getting the best possible care?
And they have to bring it up again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
can't,
they can't
just
just
go,
leave it at
go,
that.
okay, that was it.
Yeah.
It's going to come back around.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe they're warming up the season finale.
Well, they brought it up in the season premiere, like way back at the beginning of season 5. Bringing it back now is a very deliberate choice, which means we're going to see this play out over the next 2 episodes. Maybe not next week, but definitely in the finale.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And we can only hope that, you know, that they're going to be able to do the best for Chick, and that it's not, you know, we're not going to be getting a funeral anytime soon.
Hardcore.
I really,
They
really.
cannot end like that. It is not cool, Cougar Town.
No, it's a comedy.
It is.
But
It
wouldn't
is.
that be crazy if Chick did die and then Jules and Bobby got back together and like they bonded
You are
over
getting
some...
crazy.
You're going down this Jules and Bobby rabbit hole.
Don't
I
do it.
don't know
Well,
what I'm saying right
Hey,
now. I
I've
don't
been
know.
saying all season Bobby needs a love interest. What
Obviously-
better love interest than Jules?
Oh, you stop
I
it.
know, I am
It's
gonna
not going to
stop.
happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, obviously we're not getting a Cougar Town baby.
No, not yet. We do get Travis and Lori having a couple story for the first time in a
Wow.
few episodes. So we're going to get into that. But first, we got to talk about a few things. iTunes, I want to appreciate everyone who's reached out to us, who's rated and commented on YouTube and iTunes. It legitimately helps our cause so much, not just here at the Cougar Town show, but across all of AfterBuzz TV. You're the reason that we are able to keep our lights on. We really appreciate your support. Another way that you can show your support, besides rating and commenting, our founders, Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro, have a fantastic new reality series, a docuseries that premiered tonight. And tonight I'm talking about Tuesday, March 18th on Oxygen.
I can't wait to see
I think we have a message from Maria about that. Do it?
Well, I mean We'll,
Okay.
We'll go ahead and play it.
All right.
But it aired tonight, so be sure to tune in every single Tuesday at 10 p.m. to
at
watch
10, 9 Central to watch it. You'll see background here at AfterBuzz TV. There's some of that here, so you can see some behind-the-scenes stuff, and it legitimately helps us keep our doors open. So take a listen.
Tuesdays on Oxygen.
I'm Maria Menounos, and my life can get a little crazy. I host Extra. I'm an actor, producer, dancer, wrestler, and a lot of other things. I live with Kevin, my boyfriend of 15 years. Do you really love me?
I would say that I'm in serious like.
And my parents. Yep, I just said I live with my parents.
You drive me crazy.
You drive me crazy. My parents want us to get married.
You both love each other. Get married.
Kevin and I don't. I am going to get married when I want to get married. I think I want kids. Kevin definitely doesn't want them now.
This is being pushed on to us.
And of course, my parents wanted them yesterday.
This year you gotta have it.
And I have a house full of people counting on me financially. If I take my eye off the ball, everything can fall apart.
It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or wants us to do. It's what we want to do.
Everyone thinks that they know what's best for me, but I'm really the only one. I have got to figure things out.
Chasing Maria Menounos is so new. Every Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, starting March 18, only on Oxygen.
I personally, I saw the premiere, and it's a great show. It's a lot of fun.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and
she
there's
does live a crazy life.
I
I
know.
want to see it.
So busy.
And there's so much drama that goes on between her and Kevin and her family and all of her different careers. We're always chasing Maria. So if you support that show, it legitimately does support AfterBuzz, and we appreciate everybody who reaches out and helps out because we love making these shows. All right, so let's talk about the other stories we had this week. So Andy is having some trouble at work. His supervisor isn't giving him the time of day. He's not treating him very well. So Grayson reveals that he, back in the day, was a pickup artist and would teach men how to pick up women.
Men all over the world, cover your ears.
Yes, and subvert the power dynamic in any conversation with a woman. And he teaches
especially a woman that's out of your league.
It's true. So he teaches this secret to Andy, the neg, which is
we will be tweeting about
worst.
the neg. It's so terrible.
It is. It's the worst idea.
Yeah.
Why would you try this? Why wouldn't you just be confident and be yourself when talking to someone? But in the world of Cougar Town, the neg works super well. And now,
I love that it worked on Ellie.
I love that it worked on Ellie too, because you would think
true.
that it would never.
Not.
Right, but instead
He had Ellie making dinner and making dessert, ordering food.
Yeah, making a frittata the day before. You know,
very not Ellie of her.
very anti-Ellie. She's leaving the house in an apron, and she is terrified of what has
Flour
happened.
on her nose.
She's terrified of what has happened to herself, so she forces Grayson to teach her the secret as well. Pardon me while I try not to sneeze.
Don't sneeze. Oh, I'm not close enough to smack you on the forehead.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing.
Oh my gosh, I hate it when people steal my sneezes. I like
You
to
like
sneeze.
it.
Oh, I love
You
to
want to
sneeze.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Wiggle your
I'm
little
wiggling
witch
my nose. There we go.
There.
So, first of all, have you two ever been negged out in the world?
Oh, definitely.
Really?
Yeah, by like some scrummy little guy that was at work with me. And I think that he tried it in a non-sexual way, but I think he was just always trying to get me to like, I was always polite, but I was never like friendly, and I was friendly with a couple other people in the office. And he would say like, oh, you have something in your teeth, or, you know, like he would do like something, he's like,
That was his
you
pickup line?
You look really pretty, but you've got like that thing in your teeth, and then,
Right.
okay, everything will be fine. Oh, much better. I mean, I would want to know what you want to know, and I was
Right.
like, get the bleep out of
Yeah.
here. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
know-
like the shoulder touching.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm
No
not into you,
touchy.
please don't touch
Please
my
don't
This
touch.
is
shoulder.
good. This is good for like a pickup artist because body language is so important.
Oh yeah. No, if the other person is making physical contact, then there's definitely something going on.
Yeah.
That's a key signal. But the neg, just don't do it out in the world. I think it was used to very hilarious purposes here.
It was
and
so
watching,
perfect.
I think one of the great joys of this episode is watching Andy and Ellie negging each other over and over and just getting sucked into
Just
this
pretty much giving
web.
each other these backhanded compliments.
Right. And then turning the tables on Grayson and double negging him
Yep.
and making him their bitch. Was a lot of fun. And then Grayson turns away and he starts talking to himself. And I'm like,
funny. It was
how do
really
they
funny.
not call him on the fact that he's talking to himself?
I personally liked his Julia Child impersonation.
It
when
was
Ellie
very
came in
good.
with
I'm
flour
gonna
on
need
her face.
Yeah. I just need a little book for my book. It's like a weird Mickey Mouse.
He's so good.
Yes.
He is. Grayson has been a delight
Yes.
this season.
Josh Hopkins has been on fire this year.
Yeah, good actor.
And good on the writers for giving him such great material. I feel like they've really dialed into his comedic sensibility and what he's capable of, and they're allowing him room to grow in this character.
Yeah.
Because I think, once we had Grayson and Jules together, he's still attractive. He's still a romantic lead. But now that he's married, we can get into the reasons why he's also weird and kind of a huge dork.
We've seen a lot of his quirks this season.
Yeah.
With all of his little ventures that he's wanted to try. Like, we're seeing some
love
weird
his
stuff in
acting.
him. Yeah, his
Well,
acting is good.
It's like any relationship. The deeper you get into it and the more that you settle down, the more you realize that this person isn't just attractive all the time.
They're
that
weird.
They're a huge weirdo.
Yeah.
Which
can be a good or a
right.
bad thing.
Unless you're dating me, in which case you know that I'm weird from like moment
you
one.
put it out there. Your weirdness is just out there.
The more you know. It's true. I do. I put it out there. I wear it on my sleeve, and then I fling my sleeve around in
you
public.
do.
Yes, and I get my heart everywhere. But this whole story was a lot of fun, and I love the flashback to 6 years earlier before he ever met Jules.
Oh my
when
gosh.
he was giving his presentation which is totally inspired by Tom Cruise in Magnolia. And Tom is there in the audience with some of his hair left.
Yeah.
With the comb over and the long sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And Grayson's got shoulder length hair.
Can I say that Grayson looks good with shoulder
He
length
does,
hair?
actually.
He could pull it off. Like,
Yeah.
what can Grayson not pull off?
Nothing. Talking to himself because it made him look
Oh
really
my God, I
goofy.
love that. I liked it.
I'll take it.
I liked
It's great.
it.
So if you were
Grayson
married-
can do no
funny.
wrong.
If you were married to
thought it was
Grayson and
so
he
funny.
turned away from you in a discussion and started talking to himself, you wouldn't be like, what?
Come on, you don't see the
You'd get a look at
hilarity?
his butt if he turned away from you, so I wouldn't even be paying attention
I
to
like
that.
the way my girl is thinking tonight.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to budge you both on this topic.
Probably not.
But very fun story, and I'm glad we got it, and it'll probably be a moment that Cougar Town fans will be talking about for years to come. The final story this evening, a little cross-promotion with Target.
It was.
Yes, Lori is redecorating her apartment, and what is the first major test of their relationship, she is bringing Travis with her to help decorate her place.
This is scary. This is a big deal in every relationship. When you're, even if you're not living together, but especially when you move in
Yeah,
together.
having the same decoration taste is important.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer to date someone that has no taste, so I can just be like, oh, I just did this, this, and this, and this. And they're like,
Agreed.
yeah, I don't care. That's totally fine. I'm like, because I don't want that back and forth. Like, I'm like a home person, so it's like, I don't know. I want to do what I want to do. And I don't really want to like have this discussion.
Well,
Yeah,
like
I
shopping for this stuff is just as hard as like doing the decoration. And I remember 30 Rock did a great episode a few years ago where Liz Lemon and her boyfriend went to IKEA and got trapped in there and basically started having the biggest fight of all time. And that's what happens when you're...
IKEA will do that to you.
IKEA will do that to you. Thank God they didn't go to IKEA. They went to Target.
Yeah.
Far easier. And with great products.
No, we're cross-promoting Target. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is a problem when, your stuff doesn't mesh, or especially in this case, it's not like Travis is moving in with Lori, but he's arranging her things
Yeah.
in her place as if he has a right to, just because he has a degree in
Art design.
Right.
Or
Not even
not a degree.
Not
just
even
like,
interior design.
Yeah.
Just like in art and in in arranging things.
Yeah.
That doesn't qualify
There
you.
were some weird items though, like that big white bowl.
Right.
That was like a
He
really
wanted to put blankets in.
boring item to have.
And you can't fit blankets in a bowl.
you
And
can't.
honestly, it looked like one of my mixing bowls.
Yeah, it did look like a mixing bowl.
Put it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But this is a big conversation that when me and my boyfriend moved in together, it was
Did
an
you
issue.
like all of your garage sale chairs?
I do have a lot of garage sale chairs.
Yeah, call back from one of our earlier
Yeah,
podcasts.
I like it. He tolerates them, but he's got a lot of weird cluttery junk, and I'm like anti-clutter.
Yeah.
I want like minimal stuff. So that was an issue for us for a long time, and finally I tolerated like a couple weird cigar boxes and little dolls. Or
How many
whatever he's
cigar
got.
boxes does he have?
A lot, like a huge collection of cigar
What?
boxes. Yeah, and he wants them all out, and they're all filled with trinkets and rocks and seashells and weird
Oh,
stuff.
that is love.
Yeah.
That is creepy.
Yeah.
I'm calling him out, but it took a long time. It took a long time for us to find our balance, but it was an argument for a while.
See, my girlfriend just stashes all of her old video game consoles at my place, so I have a way better setup.
Oh, that's a better setup for you. That's not a bad deal.
It's just it's like video game consoles and like old anime shows on VHS.
it's heaven for you.
Not the anime shows, but the old consoles. I'm
Are
very
they
happy
the
with.
kinky anime?
No,
videos?
it's like it's the general stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
I mean, like I haven't gone through them all, so maybe there's one.
You should.
Maybe there's one, and if there is, I'm gonna rub her nose in it. Oh, he's doing Legend of Zelda. That makes me really
see?
happy. Yeah.
Nerd.
Nerd alert. But ultimately, after this big fight where they're trading, just let it run. Where
it
they're
run.
trading,
Take it. We're gonna do predictions to this.
they're at a standoff, and then they're totally just like trading punch for punch in terms of like moving things around until finally there's this perfect synergy between the two of them,
Yeah.
where they realize we've created the perfect apartment with your crazy and my crazy.
But they didn't have sex.
They can have it later.
They might have.
I want
We just
them
didn't
to have
see
it
it.
on the show.
Yeah. Oh, Jenna, I'm sorry.
They will,
We'll have
sweetie.
more
It'll
sex on the
happen.
show. We promise.
Next season.
Yes. But ultimately, they realized that they're perfect together, and we all collectively went, aww.
And it sounds like their relationship's working. We were kind of doubting it in the beginning of the season, but it looks like it's doing just fine.
They're figuring it out, those crazy kids. All right, time for predictions.
Okay.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Yes, that's right. 2 prediction sound effects for the price of 1.
I like it.
Yes. So, how are we feeling? What are we thinking? We have 2 episodes left in this season. We now have this big Alzheimer's bomb hovering overhead. What's going on?
I think that's going to be a big deal in the coming episodes. I think Chick is going to move in with Jules and Grayson. I think that's the next step, and something's going to go down with that.
Well, it's either that or they put him in a home, and I can't imagine this show
They wouldn't
doing
do that. No. Jules wouldn't do that. She offered for Bobby to come live with her. She would let her dad come live with
Yeah,
her.
of course. What do you think, Jenna?
I don't think we're getting a baby.
Okay.
I am thinking, I don't know. I feel like something might happen with Jules and Bobby.
Oh, I hate it.
I don't like that either because I would think I would lose so much respect for Jules for giving up Grayson for Bobby. Not that I don't love Bobby, but I'm just saying Bobby's character. I just, you know.
I mean, but let's just put it out there. You look great in that suit and those shades.
You know what? He did.
He did look good.
He cleaned up real nice.
For a hot second, I was like, oh man, let's get him on Justified, and him and Timothy Oliphant will have a looking good in suits contest.
Until he speaks.
Yes.
What do you think?
Bobby.
I'm gonna pick up the baby mantle and say we'll still get a baby by end of season.
No.
Cougar Town, baby. Maybe we'll see Stan again. I don't know.
At the very least, a Lori pregnancy scare.
Ooh,
I like
scandal.
this game. Okay, we got to wrap up. Jenna Couture, where can the people find you?
I am on Twitter at JennaTimeTweets.
And I'm
Chelsea?
on Twitter at Chels Earlewine, EARLEWINE.
Okay, great. And you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. And I want to just take a second to let you know, a friend of mine, Matt Zunick, is making a great movie. It's a musical comedy that he's working with some great producers from Felicia Day's Geek and Sundry to work on. And there is a Kickstarter going on for this musical. It is called Sweet Nothings, an indie musical comedy. You can find it at Kickstarter.com. It's really funny with great music, and it really deserves your support. The deadline to support it is April 2nd, so if you could check that out, I'd really appreciate it. I'm sure they would too.
Cool.
I want to thank everyone for downloading, watching, listening, streaming. You're the greatest. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
From executive producer...
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.